What up? My name is Brad. Welcome back to Dragon Ball Legends. Today we're talking about Ultra units. I really kind of want to have this conversation. So, when looking at Ultra units, there's a couple things we really need to realize about them. One, they are higher rarity than LFs. Now, what that'll mean for pull rates, we'll discuss that later on in the video because I'm not 100% sure, but they are higher, rarity than that. Oh, by the way, if you enjoy, make sure you subscribe, leave a like. I'm terrible at reminding you to do that, but if you could do that, it does help the channel out massively. It doesn't cost you a thing. That like button is, yeah, that's huge on YouTube. Either way. So, talking about it, the second thing we need to realize is they're gonna become summonable. It's super dope we got the free one. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing. Absolutely love it. And it's what Dokkan should, or what Legends should have done with, I have Dokkan on the mind because it's what we're discussing later on in the video. It's what Legends should have done with Zenkai, and that's why Zenkai was so poorly received, because there was no lead into it. It was just like, boom, here's Beerus, take him. Get out there and wreck people up if you pay $500. That was why it went terrible at that time. But it's going to become summonable. It's just a matter of when. And it's a higher rarity than LS. Those are pretty much the two things that we have completely confirmed. Now, the actual characters themselves, I don't think that they're going to copy Dokkan. Because, yeah, they might have copied him with Goku. And I could totally see a Frieza being the next one. Maybe we do get a duo unit of 17 and 18. For the free units, Prime Battle, those ones make complete sense. They could copy them. Right now, we'd get them. Because you got Vegeta Family, you have a hybrid, you have Lineage of Evil, and you have androids. They've pretty much touched every team with those initial, 5. And they've had a couple since then, whatever else. But that they have the future Trunks would be the hybrids one. They have Goku, which would be Sun Family. They have Lineage of Evil, which would be Frieza. They have the androids, which would be 17 and 18. And then they have Prime Battle Purple Vegeta, into Vegeta, and he'd be Vegeta Family. It does round it out pretty nicely, you have to admit. So those free ones could be perfectly fine. Now, summonables, I don't know. But that's going to be, I highly doubt, say in a year to this day, we get or to 3 days ago, we get a summonable Ultra. I highly doubt it's going to be Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Because LF Gohan exists. But who knows the state of the game at that time? Power creep might be actually absurd. Think about how powerful units are now. Like Green Goku Black and stuff like that. So, who knows? Either way. So they're going to be summonable. So taking a look at, I'm going to use Dokkan as an example, because around the time that LRs came out, Toshi was actually a producer of Dokkan. If you guys don't know that. He used to be the producer for Dokkan Battle, and then he got dropped, came over to Legends, they got a new guy. And I mean, there's pros and cons to a lot of different things. A lot of people say it was significantly better when Toshi left. No, and that's how you have the Dokkan you have now, and then we got him on Legends, but I like Toshi, so I don't really care. I think he's doing fine. I think we just had to learn a little bit on how to make it work, right? First LR that came out was, in fact, a Super Saiyan Goku. And he came out on the 5th of July, 2016. We're using the JP dates, strictly because JP came out first, and Legends is a global game, so I gotta use the earliest date to match up, right? It's completely global. There's no separated JP version and global version. Which, thank God. Can we talk about that? Oh my God, it's one of the things that I'm so happy for. I would hate having to cover two different versions like True does for Dokkan. I couldn't do it. Either way, next one we got. We went to Limitless Energy just about 5 months later. 2 months later. 5 months later, Brad. 5th of July 2016. 2 months later, they gave us another one. Well, it's been a while since I've played Dokkan. I apologize. That's pretty good. And then another 3 months later, we got... He came out at Christmas time? I really don't remember anything. I don't remember anything about Dokkan at all. But either way, that's three free-to-play LRs before they released the very first, summonable one. And obviously, Broly, if you play Global, Broly was the first LR for you guys. The Red Broly. He came out on the 8th of May over there in Global. He was the first one for Global. But it was weird. That's why I don't want a Global and a JP version, because it's two different games. But nowadays, it's getting a lot better, obviously, but for 3 to 4 years there, it was two completely different games. So either way, 23rd of February 2017, you had a good couple months in between that. So that'd be 2, 9, I mean, had about 7.5 months, give or take, which that kind of lines up with Christmas from right now when Goku came out. Kind of lines up really well with Christmas. And I could 100% see that. Think about last year's Christmas. Gogeta Blue, Broly, UI Goku right before that. Think about the year before that. Super Saiyan 4s, Rose, LF Vegeta. Like there's a lot of hype around that time of year specifically. And because that's New Year in Japan, right? That's like the... Yeah, anniversaries are cool because it's the anniversary of the game. But that's the hype time. Like, that's just how it is. There's no way to say it. It's a huge holiday in Japan. Is New Year. So it's something to keep in mind, too, that just about the same amount of time between the first 3 free-to-play LRs, they got their first Summonable LR. And Toshi was making the game. You speed us up ahead 7 months from right now. We're at the tail end of November. And going into December, just about 7.5 months till we would see what a new Ultra potentially is. Now, this is all speculation, right? Oh, and also, there's 5th of July 2016, 15th of September 2016. That's 2 months. 2 months from the day that Goku came out is like almost exactly the anniversary. Just another point to put out there too, because I don't think we're gonna get a Summonable Ultra. I don't like UL. It doesn't sound good, but I don't think we're gonna get a Summonable Ultra for the anniversary. But I could definitely see a free-to-play one, 100%. But basically, I'm telling you, start stocking up your rare metals right now. But either way, I could 100% see getting a free-to-play one for sure. And I mean, they kind of... It's weird. Now, we're going to get into pull rates a little bit, but I'm going to be honest. Pull rates are going to be straight up speculation. I can't do any kind of research and say... Because pull rates between Dokkan and Legends, they don't line up. There is no better way for me to say it than they don't line up. That's it. Because, as far as I know, when the first LR came out of Dokkan, I don't really remember. I didn't summon much back then for Gohan. I think I just started JP, like a month before that, and I didn't know how to buy cards on it. So, like, once I ran out of stones, I was like, okay. So, but either way, when he first came out over there, as far as I know, he had a 0.5% pull rate, but I could be 100% wrong, because I know they've changed a couple times. Let me know in the comment section if I am wrong on that. But we'll make the assumption it's 0.5 like it is nowadays, because it's what LRs currently are. Because they're double what an LF is. An LF is 0.25. And the LF is what really throws it off for me. Because everybody's like making jokes like, oh, the Ultras are definitely going to be 0.1. They're not. I promise you they're not. Like, I would almost, if they do, well, rip Brad, I guess. But I would almost guarantee they won't do that. Because that is ridiculous. And a lot of places, companies, and stuff like that have seen a lot of backlash from doing pull rates that low. I just don't see it being a thing. It could. I'm not going to tell you it's impossible. You know what I mean? Way back when we summoned for old units and we got Gohan, and then you could have never in a million years convinced me what Zenkai was going to be. You could have never in a million years convinced me what it was going to be. Like, I would have never... Well, you could have convinced me, but you couldn't have told me. I'd been like, oh, well, yeah, that sounds about right. Natural progression. Because I wouldn't have thought it, right? The way that soul boosting and Zenkai and stuff works. So, I'm not saying it's that crazy. I just can't see... I can't see them willingly taking on that kind of backlash. Lowering the rates that low to where it's 0.1%. I don't know, man. Again, it's possible, but I highly doubt it. So, I don't really want to talk too much about the pull rates. Let me know what you guys think they'll be. If I got to give you a rough guess on what they would do, LS will move up to 0.5, and then Ultras will step in at 0.25. Now, an ideal situation is LS will just stay at 0.25, or they'll bump up to 0.5. And then Ultras, well, actually, probably LS would jump up to 1%. And then Ultras would jump up to 0.25, or 0.5. Those are ideal situations, right? I don't mind them being a lower pull rate than the Sparkings. I get it. We're not playing Pokemon Masters here. I don't need to have a 2% on each of the units. we've gotten pretty used to normal banner units having a lower pull rate, right? I don't mind that. Well, lower than some other gacha games, put it that way. It's actually a pretty good pull rate, to be 100% honest. I don't mind that, but it's got to be feasible. It's got to be feasible. So that's why I don't want to speculate too much, but let me know down below in the comment section, what do you think they're going to do for the pull rates? Because that's kind of the really big question. The release dates matter and they don't matter at the same time. A lot of this is just speculation just for the sake of speculation. But I want to know what you guys think about the pull rates. Because a lot of people, as far as I could tell, 80% of people just think it's going to move up to 0.5 for LFs. Ultra's going to be 0.25. Which does make sense. That does line up. But at the same time, we're also comparing them. So I don't know how to think about LFs compared to Ultras, compared to LRs and Dokkan Fest exclusives. Because the DFE over in Dokkan is essentially, as far as I'm looking at it now, that's their LF. Right? Like, that's their exclusive unit that came out on that banner. And then they come back sometimes, and then they just start popping up on every damn banner, right? And then LRs would be equated over to Ultras. Because you have Sparkings to SSRs. But I don't know. It's very confusing because the games are not that similar. The only reason I'm using their time frames at all is because Toshi used to be the producer of Dokkan. That's the only reason I would use these time frames and say, yeah, that's doable. Is because he was that. And I mean, they're pretty good at releasing things that are similar, right? Colors, like STR Gogeta, Red Gogeta, coming out being like the first big sparking where it was like, whoa, Gogeta, like, there's similarities, right? The first free-to-play is a Super Saiyan Goku, which it's Super Saiyan Goku, it's to be expected. We'll have to see where they go with these to see how well they actually line up. But either way, I'm out. My throat hurts because it is 6 o'clock in the morning, and your boy need to go to the gym. So I'll catch you guys around. Deuces.